You need a bit of that. Not much hope of that in October. Not much hope when you rest.
Right, now we've got everything going again, and we'll crack on. So welcome to Tallaght Stadium for this afternoon's game, Electricity League Premier Division between Shamrock Rovers and Bray Wanderers. Let's kick off at 3 o'clock, so just under 15 minutes time. Rovers, last few Rovers players still warming up, but the Bray team have gone in. It was a lovely morning in Tallaght, and then a bit of a downpour there about 1-2 o'clock, but it's clearing now and the skies are brightening up a bit. So we'll go through today's teams for you. Shamrock Rovers, number 1, Richard Brush. 2, Pat Sullivan. Number 4, Jim Patterson. 5, Dan Murray. 22, Conor McCormack. 7, Gary McCabe. 18, Chris Turner. 21, Ronan Finn. 14, Rohan Ricketts. 9, Gary Twigg. And 19, Gary O'Neill. Substitutes down for Shamrock Rovers: number 3, Enda Stephen. 6, Stephen Rice. 8, Stephen O'Donnell. Number 10, Carol Shepherd. 11 is Kieran Kilduff. 16, Craig Hoyland. And number 20 is Billy Dennehy. Bray Wanderers this evening: number 1, Darren Quigley. 2, Shane O'Connor. 3, Darren Massey. 4, Derek Prendergast. 5, Adam Mitchell. Number 6, Gary Dempsey. 7, Dan McGuinness. 8, Shane Houston. 9, Connor Murphy. 10, Chris Shields. And 11, Jay Kelly. Substitutes for Bray down this evening: number 12, Kevin Knight. 14, John Mulroy. 15, David Webster. 16, Dean Zambra. 17, Gary Shaw. 18, Danny O'Connor. And 25, Brian Kane. Richie Winter this evening's referee here in Tallaght Stadium. So we're going to try something a little different again with the video, and hopefully it's a better quality than previous attempts, but let us know if it's not. So there's no other games in the Electricity League this afternoon. There's a few games underway across Europe. Let's just see any interesting scores first of all. And here's the reserve game, but Eintracht Frankfurt beating Bayern Munich. Cardiff and Leicester still 0-0, 15 minutes left in that one. Lazio Palermo 0-0 at half time, yellow card to each side there, so it'll be interesting. Who's the assistant referees? I don't know, it's not written on my team sheet. And I don't see them in front of me to see who it is, so. Well, there's the sun coming out now, so it could actually be a nice afternoon here in Tallaght. A few Bray flags over there, to see a few other fans in the shop earlier on. Doesn't look like it's going to be a great crowd here if things are ending to go by 10 minutes to go. A couple of thousand possibly. Very quiet over in the east stand, and it's not exactly busy over here in the west either. Full house in the press box though, thanks to, well, nothing else to do, I suppose, for most of the journalists. So Get out of Paul O'Connell's way, those of you who were in Belgrade. There are the free match DVDs for you in the Lemmelor suite. If you're listening to this, you're not getting them clearly, but get in touch with Mark Lynch. I'm sure for a small administrative fee he'll be able to post them out to you. No worries. There's an old Sligo Rovers Twitter feed have given a shout out to SRFC TV this evening, calling us shams as usual. Poor bitter little people. Buzz O'Neill apparently has a sore throat, which has developed into no voice. So those of you expecting to hear Buzz O'Neill today will be very disappointed. They'll have Dunster and Ashburn doing the match announcements. That's how people still streaming into the ground. 98 FM are here doing something today, I'm not entirely sure what. The usual M&S crew, and we also have some people from Capital D doing a piece on Shamrock Rovers. Interviewing our own Dunster and McDara Ferris also. A good few people seem to have joined us again, so we'll just go through the teams for you before handing the mic over to Dunster. So, Shamrock Rovers, number 1, Richard Bush. 2, Pat Sullivan. 4, Jim Patterson. 5 is Dan Murray. 22, Conor McCormick. 7, Gary McCabe. 18, Chris Turner. 21, Ronan Finn. 14, Rohan Ricketts. 9, Gary Twigg. And 19, Gary O'Neill. Substitutes then for Rovers, number 3, Enda Stevens. 6, Stephen Rice. 8, Stephen O'Donnell. 10, Carol Shepherd. 11, Kieran Kilduff. 16, Craig Hyland. And number 20, Billy Dennehy. Of course, I'd like to congratulate Billy Dennehy on being the one Kerry person to have an All-Ireland medal this year. Bray Wanderers, number 1, Darren Quigley. 2, Shane O'Connor. 3, Dane Massey. 4, Derek Prendergast. 5, Adam Mitchell. 6, Gary Dempsey. 7, Dan McGuinness. 8, Sean Houston. 9, Conor Murphy. 10, Chris Shields. And 11, as ever, for Bray, Jake Kelly. Substitutes then for Bray, Kevin Knight wears number 12, 14, John Mulroy, 15, David Webster, 16, Dean Zambra, 17, Gary Shaw, 18, Danny O'Connor, 25, Brian Keane, and Richie Winter is the referee here this evening, and I don't know who the assistants are, so don't ask. Well, so we're trying something a little different. Hopefully the quality will be better. Let us know if it sucks, basically, if it's any worse than normal. But hopefully it won't be. Doesn't sound it. Picture looks good. So with 5 minutes to go, I'll put down the mic and I should talk to Dunster. I'll talk to you again at half time.
Hey everyone, welcome to Tala for today's game between Shamrock Rovers and Bray Wanderers. Teams just coming out onto the pitch as I pick up the microphone. I'll quickly run through the teams. I know Albert's probably already done it, but I'll just do it quickly. Start with Shamrock Rovers. In goal, Richard Brush. Number 2, Pat Sullivan. Number 4, Jim Patterson. Number 5, Dan Murray. 22, Conor McCormack. 7, Gary McCabe. 18, Chris Turner. 21, Ronan Finn. 14, Rowan Ricketts. Number 9, Gary Twigg. And number 19, Gary O'Neill. For Bray Wanderers, it's number 1, Darren Quigley. 2, Shane O'Connor. 3, Dane Massey. 4, Derek Prendergast. Number 5, Adam Mitchell. 6, Gary Dempsey. 7, ex-Shamrock Rovers player Dan McGuinness. Number 8, Sean Houston. Number 9, another ex-Shamrock Rovers player, Conor Murphy. Number 10, Chris Shields. And number 11, Jake Kelly. So the team's actually going to switch around here. It's going to be Rovers playing into the car park end, or the south stand end, as it's now known. And 2 teams going into their huddles as the linesmen just go and just checking that the nets and everything are okay. And in one piece, and we're ready to go. Referee today is Richie Winter, shaking hands with Pat Devlin and the rest of the Ray bench, and making his way over to the Rovers one now. So both teams in huddles. Not a great crowd here today, but a few still starting to drift in. That centre part of the L&M of the East Stand starting to fill up a little bit. It was looking a bit bare 5 minutes ago. So it's going to be Rovers to tip off, playing into the south stand end. Looks like, no, it's actually Bray going to be tipping off with Conor Murphy and Chris Shields. So, no Craig Sivas today. So, Pat Sullivan goes in at centre half, and Conor McCormack at right full, Jim Patterson at left full. Straight 4-4-2, Turner and Finn in the middle, with McCabe on the right, Ron Ricketts on the left, and Gary Twigg and Gary O'Neill up front. The Rovers bench is down to Stephen Royce, Stephen O'Donnell, Carl Shepherd, Kieran Kilduff, Craig Holland and Billy Dennehy. And for Bray, it's Knight, Mulroy, Webster, Zamara, Zambra, Shaw, O'Connor and Kane, as Bray get the game underway, and the ball comes into Houston in midfield. A good foot in there by Gary McCabe, but it's switched out here to Jay Kelly, whose first touch can only find Gary McCabe, who gets it back here to McCormack, who gets it back to Sullivan, who finds Gary O'Neill. Gary O'Neill is fouled by Chris Shields, and it's going to be a free into Rovers just on the halfway line here. Ronan Finn going to leave it for Pat Sullivan. Sullivan takes it short to Conor McCormack, who's McCabe outside him if he needs him. He's going to look for the ball to Gary Twigg instead. It's won at the back by Prendergast, but Turner's header only finds McGuinness, who knocks it forward to Murray, who's forced backwards and goes back to Mitchell. Mitchell's long ball down towards by McGuinness. For McGuinness, it's missed by Patterson, but it's McGuinness is not going to reach that, and it's going to go out for a Rovers goal kick as the sun shows itself. Then the rain clears. Lovely afternoon, Sunday afternoon for a game of football. Now that the rain is gone, as Richard Brush puts the ball down to take this goal kick. Bit of a somber atmosphere here. It's all very quiet. Decent enough crowd, but as Brush takes the goal kick, it's only going to find Shane O'Connor, who knocks it forward. Patterson back pedaling, but he can let that go for a throw in to Rovers. So Bray on a slightly better start here, as Patterson looks for Gary O'Neill, who's dropped deep. Gary O'Neill is fouled by Gary Dempsey. It's taken quickly here for Conor McCormack. Conor McCormack can a bit of space in front and can bring it forward. Goes back here to Pat Sullivan. Pat Sullivan is going to look for the angle ball for Rowan Ricketts, but it's well cut out there by Shane O'Connor, who finds Gary Dempsey in midfield. Comes out here to Dane Massey. Dane Massey into the fee of Houston. Well won by McCabe, but it goes off Conor McCormack's head, and it's out for Bray Wanderers throw in. It's to be taken here by Dane Massey, who I believe is an ex-Rovers player as well. Into the feet of Conor Murphy, who goes back to Shields. Shields looking for Houston, but Houston couldn't get himself back into position to receive the ball, and it's out for a Rovers throw in, which Conor McCormack's going to take. So Rovers really yet to make it foray into the Bray half. It's going to be fairly well kept in the Rovers half here, as Matthew wins that header, but Finn gets onto that, and Gary O'Neill is beaten to the ball by Adam Mitchell, and Murphy fouls Pat Sullivan, and Conor McCormick takes the free kick quickly and goes back to Dan Murray. So Rovers can start to build from the back here a little bit. Murray being allowed to take the ball out, closed down now by Murphy. Goes long looking for Gary Twigg. Twigg wins that, but it was judged to have fouled Mitchell, and it's going to be free out, which Darren Quigley will take. So Quigley's clearance down towards Chris Shields, but Shields misses it, and it's out for a Rovers goal kick. And it's going to be Bush to take this goal kick. Pat Sullivan dropped short looking for it, but I don't think that's really an option with Jay Kelly so close. So Bush is going to go long, looking for Rowan Ricketts, but is dropped short. McGuinness can't control it, and it goes out for a Rovers throw in just inside their own half here. It's going to be Patterson, goes back to Dan Murray. Dan Murray goes back here to Richard Bush, who can get it here to Sullivan, and Rovers can once again start a build from the back. Sullivan has a bit of space to bring this into, needs someone to look for it, but he's hit it straight to Gary Dempsey. Turner nips in and wins that. Richie Winter saw that as a high foot, so it's going to be a free to Bray Wanderers just in the centre circle there, with Gary Dempsey is going to leave it for no, he's not, he's going to take it himself. It looks like he was going to leave it for Prendergast, but he's going to take this himself. He's going to look for the run of McGuinness, but he didn't get the angle right, and it goes straight out for a Rovers goal kick. So no real pattern to the game so far. It's you'd have to say Bray, without really creating it, and have slightly the better of it. The ball spent more time in the Rovers half than it has in the Bray one. So Rovers once again, it's a bit of a wind here, so I think they're looking to get this short as often as possible, because Bush's goal kicks are dropping quite short. But he gets good distance on that one, finds the halfway line. That was a foul by Gary O'Neill on Shane O'Connor, and it's going to be a free kick to Bray, taken by Gary Dempsey quickly into the feet of Conor Murphy. Conor Murphy looks to turn Dan Murray, and Murray just too strong for Murphy there, and can find Rowan Ricketts. So Roberts' first chance to get the ball forward, but it comes off Shane O'Connor, and now for a Rovers throw in just on the halfway line. So it's going to be Jim Patterson to take this. Needs an option, has to go back to Dan Murray. Dan can play a ball here to Gary O'Neill, who's dropped very deep, and come across here to Sullivan, who's going to be closed down by Shields. And comes to Conor McCormick, and good pressure here by Bray. And Sullivan now has a chance. He should probably get this forward. Under pressure from Conor Murphy. Goes back to Richard Bush. So you can really see Bray's game plan here is not to let Rovers play the ball out at the back. They're closing down all the short options that are on, as Patterson goes back to Dan Murray there. Murray played to Ricketts. Ricketts in turn here, and goes back to Pat Sullivan. And Sullivan has a chance here now to catch the run of McCormick, and the wind will hold that up nicely for Conor McCormick, and he's going to get there ahead of Dane Massey now, but Dane Massey does well just to get a foot in ahead of him, and it's out for the Rovers throw in. I think that's what Rovers need to do. They need to try get the ball behind into the space, as Sullivan with a chance to deliver a ball here, and that's going to curl away from Quigley. It'll come to Rowan Ricketts, who can keep this in, and has a chance to take on Shane O'Connor here, and he's done well, but his cross isn't great. It's cut out by Gary O'Connor, but only finds Patterson, who can lay it back here to Dan Murray. Murray to Ronan Finn. Ronan Finn can turn under pressure from the Houston. Finds Patterson. Patterson down the line to Ricketts. Looks to play the little 1-2, but it was under hit, and Patterson was stretching for it. And Bray can come away now with Chris Shields, and Chris Shields comes out here to Dane Massey. Dane Massey has to struggle to keep that in, but he does well. Gary O'Neill can get there and gets a foot in, and it's out for the Bray Wanderers throw in. Good pressure by Gary O'Neill, good work. So Massey with the long throw. Look, Jay Kelly was all. The other way! Pat Sullivan claiming that the foot was high there, but referee saw it as a foul on Conor Murphy, so that's going to be a free into the Bray Wanderers. And it's going to be Gary Dempsey, the captain, to take this. So the wind making it difficult to play football here. It's obviously benefiting Bray Wanderers in this first half. As Dempsey gets ready to take this free kick. Richie Winter just making sure everything's in place. Dempsey curled a lovely ball in. Oh, but it was Ronan Finn who got his head to it, but it just skimmed off the top of it. And it came to, I think it was actually Adam Mitchell. But he couldn't get his shot on target, and it goes over there. So a bit of a first real sight on goal by anyone there. But score remains 0-0, and it's a goal kick to Rovers, which Richard Brush will take. As Hooperman tries to lift the fans in the east stand. Richard Brush takes this goal kick. Gets much better distance on that down towards Ricketts. Ricketts wins the header. Gary O'Neill gets there and wins. And now Ricketts is away down the left-hand side. Chance to have a run at Mitchell. Under pressure from Shields. But he's done well around Ricketts. And Shields gets a foot in and it's a throw into Rovers. Really good work by Rowan Ricketts. He had Shields and Mitchell for company all the way there. But he did well to come away with the ball. And eventually it was Shields who got a foot in. And his head finds Gary O'Neill, who gets it back to Patterson. Patterson is away down the left here and has a chance to get a good ball in. It's blocked down by Shane O'Connor. And it's another Rovers throw in. Good little bit of pressure here by Rovers. Rowan Ricketts, faced by McGuinness, does well. Gets a decent ball in. Oh, and it's... and Gary O'Neill's looping header is saved by Quigley. And he looks like he may have done himself some damage there. He collided with the post. But much better from Rovers. And it's Ronan Finn to Conor McCormack. McCormack back to Finn. Finn with a chance to get the ball in. Goes short to Turner instead. Turner finds McCabe and his pass is awful. Finds McGuinness. Murphy's fouled by Pat Sullivan. And it's free to Bray Wanderers, which Dempsey just kicked against Chris Turner. I don't think the referee blown his whistle for the free to be taken, so he's going to leave it for Prendergast to take this. Prendergast looking for Dane Massey. His header, it goes right back across, and a good touch by Danny McGuinness to take the ball down, and he spun away. But Ronan Finn get on this now, and it's a chance for Rovers to break. Getting forward, but Bray getting players back as well. And Finn finds Ricketts out on that left-hand side, and Patterson on the overlap. And if he can get a decent ball in, and it is a good ball, it's over the head of Twig, but referee saw a foul in there, and although Ronan Finn throws the ball into the box, it won't count. It's going to be a free out. Much better by Rovers, much better. Patterson on the overlap from Ricketts, put a good ball in. And I didn't quite see who fouled who, but Richie Winter saw it, and it's a free out. So the wind kind of making a crossing the ball difficult. It's kind of the second one that's kind of struggled to find its way into the box, so it's going to be Quigley with the free out here. Who gets good distance on it down towards Houston, but it's over the head of Dan Murray, and Conor Murphy was nearly onto that, but it found its way through to Richard Brush. Rovers can build again here now with Pat Sullivan. Pat Sullivan to Conor McCormack, has McCabe outside him. The pass to McCabe has gone out of play. I don't know, just a little too much on the pass there from McCormack. It was always going to be difficult for McCabe to... But great work there by Pat Sullivan to nick the ball off Conor Murphy. And he's come inside. And O'Neill was fouled, but he's got Gary McCabe away. And a great tackle by Dane Massey. So Rovers gained no real advantage out of that, which is disappointing. Because there was a foul on O'Neill as Murphy looks to put McGuinness away. But the angle is all wrong and it'll go out for a Rovers goal kick. It was really good work there by Gary O'Neill. He spun away. He was fouled. I think it was by Houston. But he managed to get McCabe away, but a really good covering tackle by Dane Massey. Managed to nick the ball away from him. But the final ball there by Conor Murphy was poor. And it's a chance here now for... Oh, but Murphy's shot is poor, but it might break to Jay Kelly, and Jay Kelly's shot is awful. But some of Rovers' passing's a little bit sloppy today. Some of them are overhit, some of them underhit, and that's what happened there. And it was Conor Murphy was nearly able to get onto it. His shot was poor, but it was clear it came out to Jay Kelly. But Jay Kelly's shot from the rebound was high, wide, and handsome. So it's a goal kick to Rovers. So Brush finds the halfway line. Twig and Finn jumping. Drops into McCabe. Great touch. Gets it back here to Sully. Sully turns. There was a chance to play a ball over the top there because O'Neill and Twig were both looking for it. He's gone back to Dan Murray instead. Dan Murray out here to Jim Patterson. Under pressure from McGuinness. Goes back to Murray. Murray has Turner pick it up a good position, but it was well covered by Shields. And now it's Patterson. So finds Finn here. Finn needs to get his pass off quickly and does. Finds Pat Sullivan. Really good work by Rovers here now. So he looks for the run of Conor McCormack, and that's a great ball, and McCormack can get onto that, and Rovers have numbers in the box, and it's a decent ball in, but it's well cut out by Gardy Dempsey, who just knocks it back here to Dane Massey, and chips one forward towards Conor Murphy. He was... It's going to be a yellow card for Pat Sullivan. I think that's maybe for persistent foul, and I thought Sullivan got a foot to that, and then Murphy threw himself on the ground, but who am I? What do I know? So it's a yellow card for Sullivan, who's going to have to be careful now for the rest of this game. It's going to be Prendergast to take this. It's a pity that happened because Rovers had really kind of got on top here. So it's Prendergast to take the free kick. Down towards the middle. Dan Murray leaves that one. And it goes by Sean Houston and out for a goal kick to Rovers. So, other than the one that Finn got his head on that fell to Prendergast, delivery's been pretty poor from Bray from them set pieces. Because they have had a number of free kicks at decent areas to get the ball in, but they've either made their way back to Brush or have gone out for goal kicks. And ball drops to Houston midfield, flicked on by Conor Murphy. Pat Sullivan hops up nicely for Pat Sullivan, who just nodded back here to Brush. So Brush drops the ball and is going to look to go along with this. It's going to be closed down by Conor Murphy. But knocked forward towards Dempsey, jumping quick, but it's Houston who wins it. Pat Sullivan finds his feet at Gary McCabe. McCabe goes back here to McCormack. McCormack looks for the ball down the line for Gary Twigg. That's a great run by Gary Twigg to find it. Oh, and a really important foot in there by Prendergast just to nick it away from Gary Twigg for the throw in. Gary McCabe's going to leave this for Conor McCormack, who finds Gary O'Neill. Gary O'Neill's touch finds Ronan Finn. He did well there because it was an arc, and he plays the ball over the top for McCormack to get onto it. Dane Massey has to deal with that, and it's only out for a Rovers throw in. It was a clever ball there by Ronan Finn. It wasn't going to go out, and he knew he had to make Dane Massey deal with it. And it's going to be a Rovers throw in here taken by Conor McCormack. Needs a bit of movement. Finds it with Gary McCabe. Gary McCabe turns, and he's got inside. Gary McCabe. McCabe was hauled down there. Linesman standing right beside it, didn't see it. So it's back here with Sullivan, who goes across to Murray. Murray needs an option in midfield. Finds it in Gary O'Neill, who comes across here to Chris Turner. Turner has Sullivan outside him. And Sullivan with a bit of space closed down now by Houston. Goes back here to Turner. And that's a heavy tackle by Chris Shields, and that's a yellow card. So Sullivan takes this quickly to Gary McCabe. McCabe will look, it's cannons off Chris Shields. Sullivan wins the header, but it's just going to drop here and it's flicked on, but Wells and Pat. Sullivan's foul again there by Houston this time. So, great. Oh, it looked like a good ball for the run of Gary O'Neill, but it was well read. Sullivan does well to win that. Finds Ronan Finn. Ronan Finn finds Gary McCabe, who's looking for Gary Twig, but Rowan Ricketts should probably be out there, but well blocked down by Gary Twig just to keep the ball right in here now. It's Shane O'Connor who's going to take the throw in. He's taking it from. So the header throwing only finds Rowan Ricketts. And that's a foul on Gary Twig. And it's going to be free into Rovers. And it's going to be a yellow card, I think, for Shane O'Connor. So, chance now for Rovers to put in a good delivery. It looks like it's going to be Rowan Ricketts to take it. Jim Patterson and Dan Murray going forward for this. So, Rovers' first chance to put a good delivery into the box here from a set piece. So it's Ricketts with the free kick, and it's a decent ball in. Oh, how did that stay out? It seemed to come to Patterson at the back post, and somehow quickly managed to get a hand on it and keep it out. I don't know how that stayed out, but his clearance forward has gone straight out for a Rovers goal kick. Bit more accuracy. It was 2-on-2 at the back there with Murphy and McGuinness against McCormack and Sullivan, but it's gone out for a goal kick. So, Brush, long kick won by Gary Twig. Looked to find Gary McCabe, but he was beaten there by Dan Massey. Knocked forward to Murphy, who finds Dempsey to McGuinness. McGuinness's ball is poor and only finds Dan Murray. And that's a decent ball for Gary McCabe, who can have a run now. And he looks to find the feet of Gary O'Neill, but only finds Gary Dempsey instead. And the ball comes out here to Jake Kelly. McCormack looks like he needs a bit of treatment. It was he got his body between Jay Kelly and the ball, and Kelly could have jumped into his back. But he's going to take the throw in. He seems all right. Needs an option. Come on. Finds it in Gary O'Neill. Gary O'Neill, great touch to get it back to him, and into Gary O'Neill. And a chance for Rowan Field to break now, and finds Rowan Ricketts out here on the left hand side. A really good ball. Rowan Ricketts, his first touch isn't great, but he can get a decent ball in. And it's Gary Dempsey who gets there ahead of Gary O'Neill, and it's a corner to Rovers. So another good delivery by Rowan Ricketts there, causing problems in the Bray defence, but it was really good work by Gary Dempsey, who tracked the run, and they take it short to Ronan Finn here. Finn back to Ricketts. Ricketts can now, he's going to have a run at Dempsey, but Dempsey did really well and was fouled down by Ricketts. The ball should have gone into the box that time. They're causing Bray problems when the ball goes into the box, but he decided to take the short corner, and Ricketts was caught in possession and then gave away the free kick. So takes the pressure off Bray, and it's going to be a free out, which Darren Quigley will take from his own box. So down towards Dan Murray, well won by Dan, and it comes off the head of Conor Murphy, and out for a Rovers throw in. Halfway inside the Rovers half. So Patterson to take the throw in. Needs an option. Finds it once again in the ever-willing Gary O'Neill, who does well to get a touch and get it out here to Conor McCormack. As Kelly comes scampering back across, he finds McCormack. McCormack to Finn. Finn McCabe's pass is poor, but it's found Finn, and Finn looks for Gary O'Neill. It's over the head of O'Neill and Dempsey. It'll come out here to Shane O'Connor, but Shane O'Connor happily leave that goal for a throw-in, which he steals 5 or 6 yards on already before he even takes his run. So Ensley ends up 10 yards away from where the throw-in should have been taken, but the ball comes back here to Sullivan. Sullivan looking for the run of Gary Twigg. It's well cut out. Patterson wins the header, but just to have fouled Conor Murphy there, and it's going to be a free into Bray Wanderers just inside the Rovers half. Gary Dempsey waiting for Prendergast to get forward. You've got Dan Massey pushing forward here as well. Kelly looking for the run into the midfield, but it's towards Dan Massey. It's well won by Pat Sullivan, who was fouled, but his header finds Ronan Finn, who finds Turner, who's passed to Jim Patterson, is poor, and it's out for the Bray Wanderers throw in. But there was a foul on Sullivan there when he headed the ball, but so it's going to be Shane O'Connor to take this throw in. Goes back to Mitchell. Mitchell back to Connor into the feet of Conor Murphy, but it's well won. And O'Neill can keep that in. He's done well. He needs an option, and he finds it in Conor McCormack. That's an absolutely brilliant ball. And Cormac with a bit of space now to get into it, looking for the runners from midfield, but finds Turner, who's got a bit of space here now. Turner's pass once again to Conor McCormack is poor. He was looking for McCormack to make the angle, but that's not where he put the ball. Throw-in is won by Houston. No! So it's going to be another free in here to Bray. Dan Murray just to foul Conor Murphy. He just looked like he jumped in the air, but so another bit of defending for Rovers to do here. Once again, it's going to be Gary Dempsey with the delivery. And he's hit it low, and it's come off Gary McCabe's head, and it's out for a corner to Bray Wanderers. I think the idea there was just to get the ball into the box as low and as hard as possible, and see what happens. And they've managed to get themselves a corner out of it, which Gary Dempsey will go and take himself. So another nice little bit of pressure here for Bray. Good ball in. Well done by Richard Bush to punch it away from under his own crossbar. McGuinness looks to get it back in, but it's well won by Jim Patterson, who's fouled. And that's an absolute screamer by Jay Kelly. And that's 1-0 Bray Wanderers. The ball broke to Kelly at the edge of the box, and he absolutely lashed it back in. So that's a real setback for Rovers here. Out of nothing, Jay Kelly makes it Bray Wanderers 1, Shamrock Rovers 0. So Rovers really need to lift this now. So nothing really that I don't think any goalkeeper could have done about that. An absolutely brilliant finish by Jay Kelly. So Rovers need to get back into this straight away. And Ricketts and McCabe have switched wings as Murray knocks the ball out to Patterson. Patterson looking for Gary Twigg. Gary Twigg is beaten in the air. It drops to Gary Dempsey in midfield. Dempsey back to Dean Massey. Closed down by Rowan Ricketts. Plays the ball forward. Well read by Pat Sullivan, who looks for the run around Ricketts. And I think that's just kind of cut away at the last minute from Rowan. And it's out for the Bray Wanderers throw in. So at least Rovers getting Bray pinned back in. It's going to be Dean Massey to take the throw in. Looking for the height of Houston, but only finds Conor McCormack, whose head goes back in and finds Gary Dempsey. And Gary Dempsey's pass across to Shane O'Connor is poor, and it's out for a Rovers throw in. And it's Gary McCabe with a chance to... He's got 2 Bray players, but Richie Winter says the last touch came off Gary McCabe there, and it's a throw into Bray Wanderers, which Shane O'Connor will take. Richie Winter this time making sure he doesn't steal a couple of yards. So the header drops in midfield, well controlled by Danny McGuinness, who finds Shields, but Shields ball forward only finds Turner, who finds Jim Patterson. Jim Patterson's away, and he's done well, Jim Patterson. And he's got a ball into the box, but it just won't drop to a Rovers player. Comes to Chris Turner, the edge of the box, as Rick gets out, McCabe, outside him. McCabe closed down on by McGuinness, but can still get a ball into the box. Oh, it's actually Patterson. And he plays it, and it's going to drop in. And it's cleared, and it drops to Houston, but Conor McCormick nicks in and wins that and finds Pat Sullivan. Pat Sullivan with a great ball in, but there's no one there, and Gary McCabe isn't going to be able to retrieve that. Everyone had come near post. And it was actually a really good ball there to find a bit of space in the back post, but as I said, everyone had gone near post, and it's now a Bray Wanderers throw in, which is taken once again about 10 yards from where it should be. It goes over everyone's head, drops into midfield. Houston beaten in the air, but Dempsey get onto that. Well done by Mitchell to get there, but he'll only find Pat Sullivan, who can feed Conor but he's going to take it on himself here. Looks for the angle ball for Gary Twigg, and it's over Mitchell's head, and Quigley got there just ahead of Gary Twigg. The ball came off Mitchell's head and looked like it was going to drop invitingly for Twigg, but Mitchell just got there. It was Quigley got there ahead of him and took it off his head. And his goal kick won by Dan Murray, who just puts the ball back in. There's not really much you can do with that when it's dropping from that height. But it's going to be throw into Bray, halfway inside their own half. Shane O'Connor to take it. So Rovers really need to react after everyone around them winning at the weekend. They have to get back on here as well worked between it was a good little touch by McGuinness to get the ball around Sullivan, but Sullivan managed to get his body between it and shield it back to Richard Brush, who looks for Ron Ricketts out here, beaten in the air by Dane Massey. O'Connor does well, but he looks to play the ball forward for Ricketts. It was just to a foul by Massey, and it's taken quickly here for Ron Ricketts, and Rovers, if Rovers are awake here, there's a chance, but it looked for the and Gary O'Neill just to a foul Mitchell there as they were struggling for the ball. So that's a couple of times now Rovers have kind of got Bray in good positions and just given away cheap free kicks and allowed them to kind of kill a bit of time and take the pressure off. As the ball goes down, well won by Pat Sullivan, finds Gary McCabe and who's pulled into midfield, and Finn, and that's finds Turner, and Turner's pass again is cut out by Shane O'Connor, but well done. He's won the ball back, and Gary Twigg gets a touch away, but he's under pressure now from McCabe, needs an option, finds it in Gary McCabe. McCabe comes back in, has Jim Patterson. Patterson can bring the ball forward, finds McCabe. Come on, Rovers need an option. Goes for the long ball into the box. Oh, and it's well done by Dane Massey just to get ahead on that, but it'll drop here to Ron Ricketts with a chance to take on Massey. And he looks to get the ball with his left, but it's blocked down. Finn wins the header. It'll come to Gary O'Neill at the edge of the, Gary McCabe at the edge of the box, and that's a terrible challenge. And a great ball in. Gary Twigg at the back post. Twigg! Oh, and just wide. Much better by Rovers. Really good ball in by Conor McCormick. It was Gary Twigg rising at the back post, but just couldn't get it on target. So Rovers reacted well to conceding the goal. But they need to stop giving away free kicks in silly areas when they have a Bray pin back. And a decent ball will go right through to Richard Brush, who can get it out to Conor McCormick, and Rovers can start to build again. And McCormick now with a bit of urgency. Looks for the run of Gary Twigg, and Gary Twigg's onside, but once again it's going to be Quigley who's going to get there, beat him to it. Twigg had timed his run perfectly, was onside, but Quigley shanks his goal kick, but he gets good distance on it, and the header goes back in towards Shane O'Connor. Shane O'Connor clears long, and well read by Dan Murray. Chris Shields wins it in midfield, but it drops here to Dan Murray. Goes short to Patterson. Patterson back here to Murray. Needs that midfield option. Ronan Finn there. Finn turns away from Shields and then turns back in. And has a bit of space to open up now. Oh, where are you going? And Turner here to Patterson. McCormick had made an absolutely brilliant run, but Finn turned away from it. And now Turner to Patterson. Patterson back to Turner. A bit ponderous turn now. McCabe can get turned on that. And he's got away really well. And he's put Patterson away. And it needs a good delivery, but it's cut out by Mitchell. And it's only to be a corner to Rovers, which Rowan Ricketts will go across to take on the far side. So Rovers have reacted really well. As said, they can see in the goal. It's been all over since then. If they can get something back quickly before half time anyway. So send 2 players out to stop the short one. It's decent delivery in by Ricketts. Murray can win that, but it's well done. McCormick gets it. I think that was actually a Conor Murphy header. It was a Conor Murphy header, and it's a throw to Rovers, which Conor McCormick will take. Finds Ronan Finn. Finn's first touch is great. You can get it back to McCormick, and McCormick with a bit of space can get a decent delivery in. And it came to Gary McCabe, and Gary McCabe had a free header, and they just let it glance off the top of his head and wide. But really good work by Rovers. Really reacted well to that goal. So it's going to be a goal kick, which Darren Quigley will take. So Quigley's goal kick is flicked on by Houston, but it beats both Dan Murray and Conor Murphy to the end line, and it's going to be a Rovers goal kick. Conor McCormick drops short looking for it, but it's well read by Jay Kelly to cut that off, so it's going to be Richard Bush's goal on here. 2 Rovers players jumping for it, but Houston gets a fluke on, comes back to Matthew before to Kelly. Good foot in by a chance now for Rovers. Oh no, but he is gone. And a big let off for Rovers there. It's Shane O'Connor's been sent off. Or is it Mitchell, is it? Basically, McCabe moved away, and he looked like he swung his arm back. I thought it was a little bit harsh, to be honest with you, but
It looked like a harsh second yellow.
yeah.
I'll put it that way.
I think so. So Bray Wanderers down to 10 men. So Rovers really need to take advantage of that. It was a second yellow. It looked like it was as McCabe looked to get away there. It looked like there was an arm swung there, and it's Dan Murray. What's going on here now? And now Pat Devlin's been sent off as well. Pat Devlin's been sent from the line. So it's going to be Pat Sullivan to take this free kick. Both teams down to 10 men for the moment, with Gary McCabe still sidelined. But a great ball towards Dan Murray. But it's well won by Massey. McCormick can knock it back in. Gary Twigg up to win that. Back in by Patterson. And great touch by Turner. Turner turns away. Dan Murray. Oh! Anyone but Dan Murray, I think, in that position. It was really good work by Chris Turner. But I don't think Turner was ever going to work the space for the shot, and it had fallen nicely for Dan Murray, but unfortunately didn't connect properly, and it goes wide for the Bray Wanderers goal kick. So, with Bray Wanderers down to 10 men. It's really going to be backs to the wall stuff here. But it's going to be probably Conor Murphy left up front there in his own to pull down for it. But when you've got someone with the speed of McGuinness and Kelly, they'll be able to get up and support Murphy quite quickly. But you have to think that people like someone like Conor McCormick is going to get a bit of space down this left-hand side here. And Sullivan finds Chris Turner. Chris Turner now looking for that option, but it's not there. Goes short to Patterson. Patterson looks to find the feet of Finn, but well in by Gary. But well done, Gary McCabe, to nick away from that. And he looks for the run of Gary Twig. Oh, well done by Quigley, who once again is out at the feet of Gary Twig to nick the ball away from him. That's 3 times now he's cut it off, but it was a great ball through. So Darren Quigley is not going to be in a hurry to take this. Conor Murphy had come back from an offside position, and the linesman's waiting for his flag to up, and it is. It's going to be a free out to Rovers. Murphy had won the header, but he'd come back from an offside position, and Murray takes this quickly to Pat Sullivan. Pat Sullivan is going to look for the run of Conor McCormick, and that's a great ball. If Conor can get onto that, he can't. It was a good idea. It was a great. It's just in them conditions, it's going to be very hard to judge them balls. But it's only a throw in here to Bray with Dane Massey to take it. Deep in their own half. But Massey gets good distance on it, but only finds Conor McCormick. His first touch is excellent. Who can find Chris Turner, and he's played it behind Patterson, and Patterson has to go back and get that. But it's Chris Turner. Look to play a great ball through, well cut out by Mitchell. He's going to have to go back here to Dan Murray, who is Sullivan outside him. And Rovers can once again, Bray have pushed everyone right back here now. It's Turner to Patterson. It's a better pass. And Patterson looks to turn, but does well. And McGuinness is away down here. And there's a real chance here. And he finds Gary Dempsey in the midfield. And it's Kelly on rushing. And Ricketts had no one who's cracked that run. And Ricketts get into the box, but Ricketts gets there eventually. And it's Conor McCormick who gets a foot in to finish up the job. And but he stepped back inside. Gary O'Neill was looking for that, but he's come back in here to Ricketts. Ricketts to Chris Turner, who's starting to get a lot of space in that midfield. And if he can get his passing game going, he finds Patterson now. Patterson with a chance to have a run at Shields goes to McCabe instead. McCabe fails. Oh, and he looked to put the ball through for Gary Twig. It was well read by Prendergast, but so Rovers really on the up here now since the sending off. As I said, they're finding a lot more space in that midfield. It's Ronan Finn turn away here and find Pat Sullivan. And Sullivan, the space opens up, and he's got Conor McCormick outside him. And he's left it for Rowan Ricketts, and Rowan Ricketts, but around to Gary Twig! Twig is in there! Gary Twig got straight at Quigley's legs, and a really good save. Anywhere else, and that was in, but the one spot that Quigley was definitely going to get it, he put it there. Much better for Rovers. It's Pat Sullivan here again, who looks to cross it. It's blocked down by Conor Murphy and takes a touch off Pat Sullivan before it goes out, and it's a Bray Wanderers throw in, which Dane Massey will take. The throw only finds Pat Sullivan. Go back here to Dan Murray. Dan Murray can bring the ball forward. Sullivan needs to drop it there now. Finds Patterson out here. Patterson's got Shields for company. He's got Boy Shields, really good ball. And the cross is blocked down by Shields. And out for the Rovers corner. So it's been all Rovers here the last couple of minutes. But still don't have a goal to show for it. It's Rowan Ricketts going to go across and take this corner. Just pull a man out. Pull 2 men out. Pull 2 men out when you have an extra man in the box there. And a good ball by Ricketts. Oh, it's too close. No one attacking it. And Prendergast is able to leave it a go. We're going to have a substitution here. It's David Webster going to come on for Bray Wanderers. Be interesting to see who they're going to take off here. It's Danny McGuinness is coming off. So Webster, who'll be a bit more of a physical, like McGuinness is tricky and he's fast, but he's quite a slight character. So Webster going in to put a bit more beef into that midfield. So Webster on for McGuinness. And Jay Kelly switches out to the right. They're going to put Webster in at right full and move Houston out here. Houston's header can only comes shoot to Jay Kelly and finds Murray. It's Kelly's in here again. Here's a chance it breaks. Oh, what a great block by Pat Sullivan. I don't think he knew much about that. And Turner's ball will find Gary Twig now. It's well cut out by Prendergast, but it's played forward and it'll be kept in by Richard Brush. Conor Murphy thought he was foul there, but I said with the speed of with Kelly and Murphy, they are going to get chances, Bray, with Rovers pushing on. Shields puts a little bit of pressure on Finn, but he's able to turn away. And Finn's done well, and McCormick's away here if he can find him. And Conor McCormick plays the ball down the line for Ricketts. Beautiful ball by McCormick. And there's no one there. It's way too much on the cross again by Rowan Ricketts. But it was great work by Rowan Finn to find McCormick. Rowan Ricketts' run was really excellent and a great ball by Conor McCormick to find him, but he just overhit the cross and it goes out for a Bray Wanderers throw in on the far side, which substitute David Webster will take. Flicked on and it will drop to Murphy, but comes here to Finn, who can knock it back to Sullivan. Sullivan can bring the ball forward here and finds Ricketts in the central position under pressure from Houston, finds McCabe. McCabe gets the ball out of his feet and Twig is onside here. Can he pick the cross out? It's a decent ball. Ricketts arriving. Well done, Dave Massey. Finds Finn. Finn finds McCabe. Gary McCabe with a smash and finish. Great work by Rowan Finn. And Gary McCabe smashes home an equaliser. Bray Wanderers, Shamrock Rovers win. Bray Wanderers win.
Sorry. It's a quiet game. I had the volume turned up a bit higher.
So, no more. I know Bray have been down to 10 men, but it's no more than the Rovers deserve to get that goal just before half time. It's going to be 2 minutes of time added on here. So, Rovers look like they're really going to keep the pride. Well done, Conor McCormick. George Stewart. So it's got to be. I think what happened there was, as the referee blew his whistle, the ball broke to Sullivan. That was one of those moments, but it hit Conor Murphy as he cleared it. But as Dave Massey takes this free, it's well won, flicked. So it's Webster here, adjusts his feet and gets a head on. Conor Murphy controls his chest, finds Jay Kelly outside, has to go back here to Webster. Finds Dempsey in the midfield, who finds Jay Kelly. Jay Kelly looks to turn, but he loses out to Ronan Finn. Ronan Finn finds Chris Turner. Chris Turner finds a good ball out here to Conor McCormick. Has Rowan Ricketts inside him. Rowan goes back here to Sullivan. Good pressure by Chris Shields, but he gets it across to Dan Murray. And Dan Murray finds Patterson, who's got an acre of space outside. Conor Murphy looking to get back to him, and Gary Dempsey as well is going to look quite close him down. Comes into Gary O'Neill. Gary O'Neill turns away from Jay Kelly really well and finds Turner. Chris Turner can find. Oh! And Rowan Ricketts wasn't awake there. But the goalkeeper's lost it. And a great ball in. Oh, but well cleared by Prendergast. I'm not quite sure what happened there. He took my eye off it. But Darren quickly lost the ball. Ricketts was able to get on again and he put it across. But really great work by Derek Prendergast to get back across and avert the danger there. But it's going to be a corner to Rovers, which they're going to look to. No. They wanted to take it quickly, but it was well read by Gary Dempsey. So Ricketts going to take this one here. And a decent ball in. If it could be attacked, but it's a great header by Houston. But back in by Patterson. Cleared by Shields. Added onto by Webster, but only finds Patterson. Patterson get it back in. Oh, and this might come to Ricketts, but it's... Referee blows his whistle there as the ball's cleared. And it's At half time, it's Shamrock Rovers 1, Bray Wanderers 1. The goals, an absolute cracker scored by Jake Kelly from a volley from at the edge of the box. But then they had Shane O'Connor sent off for a second yellow card. And then just before half time, Gary McCabe got the equalising goal for Rovers. So half time here, it's Shamrock Rovers 1, Bray Wanderers 1. So it is all for the second half. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for that, Hunter. I can sympathise with the needing new speakers, Al Hoop. I've been listening to Dunster, and it's been a kind of quiet match up until the goal, and yeah, I'm now deaf in one ear. Second yellow possible, swinging yellow. Yeah, we're just looking at it immediately after, because we're the stream is a couple of seconds behind. It looked like a harsh second yellow, is the best way to put it. You know, if it was his first, yeah, definitely yellow. It was possibly unlucky for the second. Yeah, manager getting sent off then for Bray. Devlin sent to the stands. Sent to the stands here, basically. I mean, he's 3 rows back from the yellow gate onto the pitch at the Bray dugout. So, you know, if he shouts, he can be heard quite easily, you know. A great equalising goal from Gary McCabe just coming up to half time. I know Bray were down to 10, but they have been defending a lot more deep than they previously were, and you know, Rovers really needed to get that goal, I think, before half time. Push on, so we really do need to get the winner in this. Stream seems to be doing pretty well, apart from Dunster blowing random speakers. I think the video is better than usual. No complaints yet from you anyway. Right, so a couple of things to take care of. We'll zoom here and let you have a look. I think it's an under 8s game. Sorry, I wasn't listening to Ashburn when it was called out. And we'll see you back here in about 10 minutes. Cheers.
Yeah, Joe probably went to Ray with the view. Oh, it was a great price, but we'd sucked in a lot of people from Ray. But no, I was like, oh, people please turn up, you know. But it was very interesting to hear Joe's take on it, especially when the Guinness come in. And like, there's 7 names in Malaga for me, you know. So, yeah, I thought he'd do better. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. pieces in your paper yesterday, Ed Maloney wrote on the weekender about McGuinness. Yeah, and his book's very good. But what's his name? Noel Whelan. Well, he was telling, I suppose, McGuinness' story, whereas Noel Whelan wrote about the political connotations about it all, and how Fianna Fáil foolish not to run a candidate. If they'd run, McGuinness never would have run. If he wins, great, but it's more what he can do for Sinn Féin over the next 5-6 weeks. It kind of legitimises him even more, So, well, who is looking at numbers and going, well, if you got 12 votes in Sinn Féin versus that's all the Fianna Fáil votes, and
Okay, folks, one on here at halftime. Coliseum. All Rovers would like to say a big
Hey everyone, welcome back here. Second half, both teams looked unchanged as they went off. Just obviously the one substitution after the sending off where David Webster came on for Jason McGuinness. Jason McGuinness? Oh, what am I talking about? For Dan McGuinness. Bit of a height differential there. But it's going to be Rovers to tip off. So, it's Rovers against 10-man Bray, 1-1. If Rovers do, you know what I mean? If you're going to win leagues, these are the games you have to win. If you don't win them, you probably shouldn't be winning leagues. So, it's up to Rovers to go out and perform now. So, we're just waiting for Richie Winter to blow his whistle. Chris. So, it's off here now with Chris Turner. Back to Pat Sullivan. Really is, as you were. As ball comes here to Patterson, who looks to find the feet of Gary O'Neill, but it's blocked down by Jake Kelly. But Chris Turner can clean that up, find Pat Sullivan. Sullivan into the feet of Ricketts. Ricketts can turn. Oh, he looked to put Gary Twig away. It was blocked down by Prendergast, but Rowan Ricketts was fouled after the ball had gone, so it's going to be a free into Rovers. So, bright start here. And a chance to get a delivery into the box straight away. Dan Murray's gone up. So, there's no point playing this short. The ball has to go into the box. And it's going to be Pat Sullivan, I think, to take it. Dan Murray and Patterson waiting at the back post. Well, a good ball in. It's over the head. It'll find Gardy McCabe. McCabe's done well to nick away from Kelly. And it's Finn here. Finn has Patterson outside him. Patterson can get a decent ball in. But well read by Quigley, who can come and claim that. Decent ball in, but just wasn't attacked. As Quigley drops the ball and goes long looking for Murphy, who's beaten in the air by Dan Murray, whose header finds Ronan Finn. Shields nicks in and gets the ball away, but can only find Patterson. Patterson looks at the run of Gary Twig, and Twig's in here now. After a great touch by Gary Twig, he maybe should have let it go by his body, but with a chance now for Rovers to attack in. It's a poor ball by Gary McCabe that Finn has to go back for. And he plays the ball out to Conor McCormack. That should have gone to Pat Sullivan. Pat Sullivan was the shorter option. He tried to play the long ball to McCormack, but he hit it behind McCormack with way too much pace on it, and it's gone out for the Bray Wanderers to throw in. So that's for Bray to kill a little bit of time and get the ball into the Rovers half. And the throw by Dane Massey goes straight out of play, taken by Conor McCormack quickly to Murray, who gets it out here to Patterson. Patterson with a bit of space. Ronan Finn straight away looking to make amends, comes and gets on the ball here and takes a simple pass to Chris Turner. Turner to Sullivan, who's got McCormack outside him. Ricketts and Finn both making runs for midfield, but long ball forward, they can only find Massey, who gets it into Murphy. Murphy back to Prendergast. And it was a 50-50 ball there, but Murray can find. It was a decent ball by Gary O'Neill for Ronan Finn, but it was a good foot in, and I think Pat Sullivan has picked up a bit of a knock there as Enda Stevens goes out to warm up. I think Sully might try run it off. Conor McCormack will play on. Dump. He's injured. So Sullivan plays the ball here to Turner. Turner will turn. Needs a bit more urgency about this from Rovers. It's all right, there's no. And a bit of luck. McCabe, I'm not quite sure what he was trying to do there. He just played it off a Bray Wanderers player. And the ball's played forward but Murray can get onto that and knock to Turner. Turner goes back to Murray. And Murray here to Sullivan. Gary Twig turns and makes the run. And he's onside. He is onside. And Gary can keep that in here. And he's done well, Gary Twig, to keep that in, and he finds Gary McCabe, who was pulled back by Jake, and that's a yellow card. It's a yellow card for Jay Kelly, who had a little pull at Gary McCabe as he got inside him. So it's going to be free into Rovers in a really dangerous area. I think Gary McCabe's going to take this. Dan Murray goes forward, as does Jim Patterson. Just leaving Sullivan and McCormack at the back with Conor Murphy. And it's going to be Gary McCabe to take this. So an early chance for Rovers to put a bit of pressure on Darren Quigley's goal here. Ricketts comes across as well. And he is going to leave it for Ricketts by the looks of things. It's a two-man wall with Kelly and Dempsey in it. Richie Winter blows his whistle. And it's a low with it. And it's got straight in! Rowan Ricketts gets his first goal for Shamrock Rovers. He hit it low and hard across the goal. It eluded everybody and into the far post. And it's Shamrock Rovers 2, Bray Wanderers 1. And it's Rowan Ricketts with the goal. From that position, it was always the ideal thing to do. Low and hard across the goal. It just eluded everybody and found its way in at the back post. And it's a bit of another injury worry here for Bray Wanderers. I can't quite see who it is. Is it Chris Shields? It is Chris Shields, and if he has to come off, that would be a big loss for Bray, because he does really well in that midfield, kind of breaking things up and getting his head on things and hassling people. So, early pressure by Rovers. They really made it count, and it doesn't look good for Chris Shields at all here. They're telling him to hang on, have a word. They're down to 9 men for the minutes. He's going to see, can he walk it off? And I think he's alright. He doesn't look too sprightly, but he might be able to continue. He said he'd be a big loss, Shields, because he does a lot of digging in that midfield. So it's here with Prendergast. Or Mitchell goes long, well controlled by Conor Murphy, who looks to play through Jay Kelly, but he can only find Patterson. Patterson comes away here now. Looks to play a ball down the line for McKay, but it's blocked down, and Chris Shields comes back on. A little gingerly, but he will continue. And he goes straight on to Ronan Finn. He's done a good job with Finn today, actually. Finn hasn't really been allowed too much space. It's only since they've had the man sent off that Turner and Finn have kind of got that little bit of space, but their lack of space has been usually down to Chris Shields, as Sully goes short to Ricketts. And it's plays short to McCormack. And it's the Rovers runners to midfield. It's O'Neill, but it's well read by Mitchell, who heads it clear. Houston gets in ahead of Finn. Under pressure now from Turner. Played forward by Gary Dempsey, looking for Shields, who is never going to get that. And it's out for a Rovers throw in. Cormac can take this quickly and get it to Pat Sullivan, who has Dan Murray across. Jim Patterson outside him. And Rovers can really start to build here now. Murray bringing the ball forward. And that was Gary Twigg had timed his run perfectly, but it was blocked down. Well done by Ronan Finn, but it is that man Shields who once again to foot in. Finn comes away with the ball, but Shields does well and finds Murphy. And Murphy's ball forward, it's outside for Houston, who can keep that in and get a decent ball in, and forces Dan Murray to clear for a corner. So a little bit of respite there for Bray. It was good break, good work by Shields to just nick the ball away from Finn. He put the ball down the line for Houston, and his cross was cleared by Dan Murray and out for a corner. So Gary Dempsey's going to go across to take that. So a little bit of defending for Rovers to do here. They're going to have to go 2 and up. They can't afford to get sit on their laurels. They need to stay awake. So it is Dempsey who's going to take this. And it's a good ball in. Oh, but well taken by Richard Brush, who can get Conor McCormack away. And there's a real chance now for Rovers to break. They've men over on the far side if he can switch it. Oh, but his ball into Gary McCabe is cut out. And it's cleared forward. Ricketts was steaming away down the right hand side, and McCormack looked to I don't think he thought he was going to get the ball right across to him. He looked to play the short ball to McCabe, but it was cut out by one of the retreating Bray defenders. Well done, Gary O'Neill, but McCabe just can't keep it in. And it's going to be thrown here to Rovers, which Webster will take. Sorry, to Bray, which Webster will take just in front of the Rovers dugout. goes back to Prendergast. Plays a ball over for Conor Murphy, but it's well read by Dan Murray. But Sullivan stepped back in the net, and a chance for Dempsey to have a shot. It's blocked by Murphy. But there's a chance now for Rovers to break with Finn. Finn finds Ricketts, but he plays it slightly behind him. And he's forced to come back inside and finds Gary O'Neill. Plays the little 1-2, gets on that, finds Gary Twig. Beautiful ball. Gary O'Neill's in. And it's a chance for Gary O'Neill. Great foot in, but it might come to... And it's Ricketts. He was forced wide. Oh, but really good work. He should have put Twig through. But the clearance will only find Chris Turner, who can find Gary McCabe out here on the left. Finds Roland Finn in the middle. Oh, but it's a good tackle. And Kelly can come away and find Conor Murphy. And Conor Murphy forced wide, covered by Dan Murray. Turner gets a foot in. Caught Murphy late, which was silly because McCabe was onto that. Dempsey looks to take it quickly, but Murphy was still on the ground. And Richie Winter is going to call the free kick back. That was a silly challenge by Chris Turner. Like the ball it made a mess of the pass, Murphy, and it gone to Gary McCabe, and he just caught him late. So it's going to be Webster to take the free kick here, just inside the Bray Wanderers half. He's going to look for Houston and Murphy. Shields push forward there as well, and it's a ball in, and Murphy's able to control that on his chest to drop. Nice height for him to do that. He got ahead of Murphy. Comes back here to Dane Massey, who plays a Gary Owen into the box, which Richard Brush can come collect. And finds Gary McCabe. It looked like he might have finds beautiful by Gary O'Neill. And Gary Twiggs through, but just too much, and Quigley once again is going to get there. Beautiful dummy by Gary O'Neill. The ball came to Ricketts, who played the first time ball for Gary Twig, but it looked like he'd slightly overhit it. And Quigley was able to come out and clear. And we're going to have another Bray substitution, but it looks of things, it's very experienced Danny O'Connor going to come on here. It's Chris Shields, still looks like he's struggling there, so I've a funny feeling if O'Connor is coming on, it will be for Shields. So it is Shields going to come off here for Danny O'Connor. So it's O'Connor on for Shields. And the game's going to restart with a Rovers throw in, which Conor McCormack will take to Pat Sullivan. Sullivan to Chris Turner here. So, that's a... So Patterson had to stretch for that, but a great ball by Sullivan to Gary McCabe. His first touch not great. It kind of hops up. Great work by Twig. And Gary McCabe's in here now. And he hits one. Gary McCabe! What a goal by Gary McCabe! 3-1 Shamrock Rovers. Brilliant work by Gary Twig just to hold out Prendergast. He laid it off for McCabe, who took it on and smashed it with his right foot into the bottom corner. And that gives Rovers a little bit of comfort there to go to 2-goal lead now. It's Shamrock Rovers 3, Bray Wanderers 1.
Goal for Shamrock Rovers, and it's second of the day by number 7, Gary McCabe.
Google me. So that's Gardy Google me. McCabe's second goal of the day. I must admit my hand up as I did go Google Gary McCabe yesterday. Sounds real, but I did do it. But so the ball comes back here to Webster, who looks to get the ball forward. It's well cut out by Chris Turner, who finds Patterson. Patterson goes back to Murray. And Murray goes to Pat Sullivan here, who has McCormack outside him. McCormack in to Finn. So back in here to Turner. Turner to Patterson. And really good movement up front and in the midfield by Rovers, but just head down every now and again. Gary Twigg straight offside, but Jim Patterson isn't, but the ball's going to drop short to Darren Quigley, who can collect this. Good clearance, but it's knocked back for by Murray to Sullivan, who can finish the job and get it back to Richard Brush, who goes short to Pat Sullivan here, who can get the ball across here to Chris Turner, who's got his back to goal but can turn and play it out to Jim Patterson. Patterson once again looks for that run of Gary Twigg. I don't think he was offside. He's got to book him here, isn't he? No, he didn't. Twigg just knocks the ball back to Quigley, but he was offside. Looked like he might have been offside. It's free out here to Bray Wanderers. Taken quickly. And Patterson can nick in a win that, and he's done well. And lovely little touch by Quigg to Gary McCabe. Oh, the one place! It was great work and a great run, but so break here now with Kelly into the feet of Danny O'Connor. Under pressure from McCabe and Finn, but can find Kelly. McCormack can just knock that back to Richard Brush, who shanks his clearance, but it looked like it might have dropped nicely for Cormac, but it's gone to Dean Massey instead, who can find Houston. Houston under pressure from Finn, gets the ball down the line for Massey. Massey steps over and he's forced inside by McCormack, but gets the ball down the line to Houston. Sullivan gets a foot in, but it's a chance now for Conor Murphy. He's forced wide, gets it back to Dane Massey, but a chance now for Rovers to break. They made the hard work in the clearance, and Twigg turns, and they need people to get beyond them. So it was a poor ball by Twigg, goes back to Prendergast. Prendergast gets it long. Houston is fouled by Ron and Finn, and that's going to be a free kick to Bray Wanderers. It was a real chance for Rovers to kill the game there, but between McCabe and O'Neill, and I think none of them really pushed to get beyond Gary Twigg, which was what needed, and Twigg was caught in two minds, and in the end it just really did nothing with the ball. As Prendergast looks to get the ball across to Webster, but Gary McCabe gets a foot in and gets the ball there. He's under pressure by Webster, gets it back to Patterson, and Patterson just got back to Dan Murray. Great work by Gary McCabe, who's probably been Rovers man of the match here today so far. And Turner plays a lovely little reverse pass for Patterson, and Patterson gets it back to him into the feet of Gary O'Neill. Gary O'Neill fought, or Twigg fought, or McCabe even fallen. Finds Patterson. Patterson back in here to Turner. Turner looks to play the long ball to McCormack. Oh, but it went over the head of Dane Massey. It looked like a great ball, but it bounced just before it got to Conor McCormack and went over his head now for a Bray Wanderers throw in. More good play there by Rovers. Really good work by Gary McCabe, who scored 2 goals today, but his work rate has been absolutely excellent. As Conor McCormack's header finds Rowan Ricketts, and Rowan Ricketts can play. Oh, looked to dink one over the top for Twigg, but it was a great ball in now here. But that was too close to Quigley, and a chance for Bray to break here with Webster. Needs an option, has 2 men in midfield, and he picks out Kelly with a really good ball. And Dan Murray in ahead of Conor Murphy finds Chris Turner. Turner to McCabe. McCabe back to Turner. And a great ball for Gary Twigg. Has the whole. Once again, there was no one really looking to get beyond Twigg. He was isolated on his own. He kind of forced the ball wide, took it left, and looked to chip Quigley, who'd come off his line, but it was wide, and it's going to be a goal kick to Bray Wanderers. So although they've got the numerical disadvantage, they're still getting a little bit of space in the odd time in midfield. And Dempsey misses that header, and that's a card. So it's fell on Gary McCabe at the edge of the box by Prendergast, and it's going to be free into Rovers, probably about 30 yards out from goal. Oh no. So it's Ricketts and Patterson standing over this. Richie Winter just making sure the Bray Wanderers wall is back to requisite 10 yards. And it looks like it might be Ricketts here. He has already scored from one free kick today. But Patterson with the left foot is also shaping up like he might hit this. Steps over it. Ricketts straight at the wall. But he blocks down the clearance. But a chance here now for Houston to come away with the ball. Foot in by Conor McCormack. But Houston does well to hold on to the ball and finds Danny O'Connor, who puts the ball down the line for Conor Murphy. But Ronan Finn gets a foot in, wins it away, gets it back to Dan Murray, plays it into Chris Turner in midfield, who can turn and finds a good ball to Gary McCabe. But I don't know what happened. Gary took his eye off the ball and his foot studs got caught in the grass. And the ball rolled by him and out for the throw in, which Webster will take here. Quickly to Kelly, Rovers fall asleep. Webster gets the ball into the feet of Kelly again, who finds Gary Dempsey with a bit of space. Closed down now by Chris Turner. Has to go across to Dane Massey. Dane Massey forced back. Looks to tie a ball into Dempsey. It's cut out by Finn. The block down comes to Ricketts, who finds McCormack and gets the ball back to Pat Sullivan, who comes across here now to Dan Murray. Murray to Patterson. Patterson goes short to Chris Turner. Chris Turner looking for a bit of movement up front of him. Goes for Gary O'Neill in midfield. Gary O'Neill under pressure from three Bray players. Manages to think a ball back to Sullivan. Sullivan finds Ricketts. Ricketts in midfield. Once again forced back to Sullivan. Sullivan to Chris Turner. Turner turns and looks for he finds Gary Twigg. Twigg holds the ball up and finds Patterson out here on the left hand side. Good patient build up here by Rovers. Back in here to Turner. Turner drops his shoulder, comes out here to Patterson again, and it's all getting very tight for Rovers, so they get it out here to Dan Murray. Murray brings the ball forward, and he's Ricketts outside him. Ricketts here with a chance to play a little ball over, and it's to Gary O'Neill. Gary O'Neill to Conor McCormack, who's onside, as forced back inside by Houston, and a great ball in by Finn, but that's going to go straight to Quigley. After all that build up, they got really nothing out of it, and Quigley goes short to Gary Dempsey in midfield, who comes out here to Webster. Webster under pressure. It's blocked down by Gary McCabe. But Webster recovers and finds Conor Murphy. Conor Murphy plays a long ball forward. Oh, brilliant defender by Dan Murray. That was just dropping for Jay Kelly. But once again, the ball over the top for Gary Twigg. Twigg looks to get outside Prendergast. Prendergast takes the safe option and knocks it out for a Rovers throw in, which McCabe was going to leave for Patterson, but he's taking it to Chris Turner instead. Turner to Finn, has Sullivan outside him. Sullivan can, with a bit of space now, can maybe draw the defender and make a bit more of space for Conor McCormack. He goes with the ball in for Gary O'Neill instead, but Quigley's going to come and collect that. So, the long ball forward. Sullivan jumping with Houston. Houston wins that and comes away with the ball, but will come back here to Sullivan, who could just knock it back to Richard Brush, who could play it short to Dan Murray. Murray plays a ball that Finn has to struggle to control, but you can play a little ball in here to O'Neill, and O'Neill bit ponderous and his touch is poor. But he's played the ball through for Ronan Finn, and Ronan Finn through here, and Ronan Finn can make it safe. Forward Shamrock Rovers, Ronan Finn. Great work by Gary O'Neill. It looked like he was going to lose the ball, but managed to just get a turn and knock it through for Ronan Finn, who rushed on and put it past the despairing Darren Quigley. So Shamrock Rovers 4, Bray Wanderers 1. So Bray Wanderers get started again here with Prendergast just going back to Mitchell it is going back to Quigley. Quigley goes long looking for Kelly, but it's well read by Dan Murray, who puts a header back in there that Webster maybe has to go deal with. No, he can let it go out for Bray Wanderers throw in, but deep down near the corner flag. He's got it. So, throw finds Conor Murphy, who does well to pull away, and finds Jay Kelly. Jay Kelly gets a decent ball into midfield, and Daniel O'Connor knits away from Conor McCormack and gets one for Sean Houston. And Sean Houston's in here, and but great work by Pat Sullivan to get back across, and Richard Brush gets out at Sean Houston's feet and gets the ball out there quickly to Pat Sullivan, who can find Rowan Ricketts. And Ricketts gets the ball down the line for Sullivan, who's tracked well by Danny O'Connor. But he plays the ball off Danny O'Connor now for a Rovers throw in. Good work there between Ricketts and Pat Sullivan, but it was well covered by Danny O'Connor. With a pair of fresh legs, was able to get back and keep it Sullivan. But the throw in taken by Ricketts to McCormack. McCormack has Pat Sullivan behind him. Pat Sullivan come inside to Ronan Finn. Ronan Finn with a bit of space, looking for movement, goes short to Chris Turner. Beautiful ball into Gary O'Neill. Gary O'Neill once again stretching, but can't get his top pass away. Pass by Danny O'Connor to Gary Dempsey, back to O'Connor and back into the feet of Jay Kelly, who's past his poor, can only find Conor McCormack, who goes short to Gary O'Neill, who comes back here to Dan Murray. And into the feet of Chris Turner again. Needs a bit of width. And Gary McCabe comes inside. Does well, Gary McCabe. And plays a ball inside for Rowan Ricketts. But it's well read by Sean Houston. And Houston can play a ball up to Jay Kelly. Jay Kelly's first touch is excellent and finds Dean Massey. Dean Massey comes back inside to Kelly. Kelly gets back to Massey here. He's O'Connor inside if he needs him. And Dempsey in a bit of space. And Gary McCabe is out of position here. And Webster getting outside Gary Dempsey, but Dempsey looks to play the ball in first time. Comes off Turner, blocked down, but comes out here to Webster. Webster's cross is blocked by... Oh, it's blocked, but the ball came across for Conor Murphy there, but he couldn't get it under control. And O'Neill gets it there to Chris Turner. Turner into the feet of Ricketts. His first touch is good, and he gets it outside to Conor McCormack. And the Rovers moving in front of him. It's not great. And he's under pressure now by Houston. Can go back to Pat Sullivan. And we're going to have a double substitution here for Rovers. It's Billy Dennehy and Enda Stevens going to come on. As Finn gets the ball out to Patterson. And comes back in here now to Finn. Finn, with a great ball over it. But it was well read by Mitchell. But Gary O'Neill now under pressure has McCormack outside him. A great ball for McCormack to come onto. And lots of time to pick this cross. Opts to try come inside Massey, but Massey does well. But McCormack's going to have another goal as well, but Massey gets another goal for it. Good defending. So it's 2-0 here. Gary McCabe, who's going to come off. Resume. So it's Gary McCabe coming off for Enda Stevens. So I presume this is going to be Conor McCormack, I think, for Billy. And now it's Sullivan. So I think Jim Patterson is going to go in at centre half there with Dan Murray. As Ronan Finn just comes across to take some water. Pat Sullivan. So Michael O'Neill giving a few players like Sullivan a bit of a rest. He's had a really good game today, Pat Sullivan, as he makes you centre half. Really, really good game. So Patterson will go in at centre half. Enda Sullivan will come out here at left full. And Billy Denny will stay here on the left hand side. So the ball comes in here to Gary O'Neill, who gets it back to Chris Turner. Turner looks to play a ball to Enda Stevens. But well done, Conor Murphy does well to hang on to that under pressure from Dennehy, but Webster able to nick it away from Dennehy. And Dempsey here can find Murphy. Looks to play a ball into. Well done by Houston, but Ricketts recovers well. But Danny O'Connor can come away here. It's a real chance now for Bray. Slips through Jay Kelly, but just slightly overhits it, and Richard Brush can get onto that and get it out here to Enda Stevens, and Rovers can start to build again from the back. Goes inside to Chris Turner. Chris Turner, that's overhit by Chris Turner, and it'll go out for a Bray Wanderers goal kick. And it's so it's Mulroy coming on here for Conor Murphy, who's worked tirelessly up front in this second half. He looks very tired. It's playing a lone man up front when you've only got 10 men. It's a tough job, and Pat Devlin going to give Murphy a rest, and Mulroy coming on. And it looks like Carl Shepherd is going to be coming on here for Rovers. He's just stripping off here in front of us. As quickly his goal kick drops down towards Dan Murray, who wins really well. but his header is going to go out for a Bray Wanderers throw in on the far side for Dane Massey to take. Massey goes back to Mitchell, and Mitchell looks for the run of the sub Mulroy. Mulroy and McCormack didn't jump, and Richie Winter judged that to be a free kick. So about halfway out, Dempsey looks to take it quickly into the feet of Jay Kelly. Forced wide by Patterson, but comes out here to Mulroy. Mulroy back to Dempsey. Dempsey looking for Gary O'Connor. Well read by Dan Murray, and it dropped here to Ronan Finn. The ball popped up onto Ronan Finn's hand that time, and it's going to be a free into Bray Wanderers. You have to reckon that Gary Dempsey will fancy his chances from here. It was unfortunate by Ronan Finn. I don't think it was intentionally, just control the ball and it kind of popped up onto his hand. So it's Jay Kelly and Gary Dempsey standing over this. Dempsey wants to take it quickly. Oh, and forces the save from Brush. So Dempsey took the free kick quickly, and he forced a good save out of Richard Brush. And it's going to be a corner here to be taken by Jay Kelly. Webster comes short, looking for the 3 Rovers players come out to him. Well read. Gary Neal played in first time, clear by Ronan Finn. Down towards Kelly, down towards Webster, who gets it back well to Mitchell. Mitchell can bring it forward and finds Dane Massey. Dane Massey faced by Gary Twigg. Gary Twigg wins the ball, and Ronan Finn gets a little pass out to Ricketts. Back in here to Turner. Turner back out to Ricketts now. Ricketts steps over the ball. Turner into the feet of Finn. Finn turns back inside and has Patterson here if he needs him short. Goes short to Patterson, who has Enda Stevens outside him, and Billy just in front. The movement in front's not great, but Enda Stevens finds Finn. Enda thought he was blocked off there as he went to continue his run, but it's Chris Turner here now to Gary O'Neill. Gary O'Neill, lovely ball for Ronan Finn. Finn controls it on his chest. Good foot in by Mitchell to take it away into the feet of Danny O'Connor. Danny O'Connor in a tight situation gets it away to Mitchell, but his touch is poor, and Conor McCormack can nick in and win that and find Patterson. Patterson to Billy Denny. So Billy Denny's first chance now to get on the ball. Lovely ball inside to Ronan, to Turner, and Turner returns the pass, and it's Billy now to have a run at Webster, and he's overhit that, but I think Rowan Ricketts is going to be able to keep that in, and it's Dan Massey going to get across, but it's blocked down and cleared by Mitchell, and out for a Rovers throw in. And we are going to have a substitution here for Shamrock Rovers. So Rowan Ricketts comes off and Carl Shepherd comes on. Had a good game, Ricketts, and he'll be glad to got his name on the score sheet for the first time. So good ovation for Rowan Ricketts coming off. He's had a good game today. So Carl Shepherd coming on. Now Carl, he'll want to get himself on the score sheet here today as well. So it's going to be Conor McCormack with the throw in here. Finds Shep, whose first touch gets it back to Conor McCormack. McCormack back in here to Dan Murray. Dan Murray looks to play the ball inside. It's blocked down by Mulroy, and he gets a through ball to Danny O'Connor. But Ronan Finn backtracking, gets it away from Danny O'Connor, and Stevens can find Dennehy's header now comes back in here to Turner, but Turner plays it back and only finds Webster. It ends up back at the feet of Quigley, who plays a high ball which Kelly and Stevens are struggling for. Stevens wins out, and Gary Dempsey's strength just gets the ball away from Billy Dennehy, and a good ball inside here to Mulroy. Mulroy with fresh legs. Oh, but a bit of luck between McCormack and Finn. They managed to get away from him, and Dan Murray pulls away here. Goes short to Shep. Shep back in here to Conor McCormack. And he looks to find Gary O'Neill, who pulled wide onto the right hand side there, where maybe the long ball for the young Russian Shepherd might have been the better option, but It's a throw in here to Bray Wanderers, just short of the halfway line. And Dane Massey looking for an option. Finds it in the sub Mulroy, who looks to play a ball into Kelly, but Stevens has nicked in and won that. And he finds Chris Turner. Chris Turner over the top for Gary Twigg. Gary Twigg had turned his back in it, and Webster was able to nick in and win it and come away here into midfield and finds Mulroy. Mulroy looks to play the ball on for Danny O'Connor, but Danny O'Connor hadn't run. And it'll only come through here to Conor McCormack, who can come back inside to Dan Murray. Murray to Jim Patterson, and Patterson with a bit of space here. Looking for the midfield option, goes short to Enda here. And it can go back to Jim Patterson here. And into Roland Finn in midfield. Good ball with Patterson. And it's Finn for Turner. Turner steps inside one challenge and gets the ball in here for Billy. How was he offside? I don't know if it was Dennehy who was offside that time, but the ball got played in and the linesman's flag came up as soon as Billy got a touch on it. But good work there by Chris Turner. O'Connor gets there ahead of Patterson. The ball played into the feet of Mulroy, but Murray manages to get a foot in, and it's gone out for the Bray Wanderers throw in. Just in front of their dugout there, as Tony Cousins makes his way in front of me there, as does Mick Cook. All the celebs are here today. As Andy Stevens just knocks that out for a throw in. Webster into Dempsey. Dempsey's touch is poor and only finds Gary Twigg. And Twigg's done really well to get away here. And he's knocked it by. And Gary Twigg is in here now. Gary Twigg. Oh! I think he tried to get it out onto with the outside of his left. But he ended up not being able to get his foot around. It was really great work. He took the ball around Mitchell so well. But just couldn't get the finish. It's going to be Quigley here with the goal kick. It's great work there by Gary Twigg. Just pity he couldn't find the finish as Danny O'Connor and Patterson battle in midfield. Patterson wins it, gets to Finn, who can get it out here to McCormack. And Ronan Finn continues his run. And McCormack finds him, but his pass to Carl Shepard is overhit and behind Carl, and out for the Bray Wanderers throw in. Rovers passing still a little sloppy. They're 4-1 up. You know what I mean? The passing should still be crisp and keeping the ball as the throw-in comes back here to Quigley. So Bray push right on. The header won by Patterson, but only finds Danny O'Connor. Danny O'Connor plays it forward. Only finds Stevens. Finds Billy. Billy back to Stevens, and Stevens back in here to Dan Murray. And McCormack finds Finn in midfield, who plays a beautiful diagonal ball for Enda Stevens, whose first touch is good. And he plays it into Gary O'Neill. O'Neill for Turner. Turner once again, that was overhit. Webster won in, but Enda Stevens wins the header. Kelly knocks. He won the ball there. Free kick taken quickly to Danny O'Connor in midfield. He's got, well done, Billy, but he just didn't get there in time, and it's Houston now. Houston comes inside Murray very easy, and the space opens up for him, and he looks to find Mulroy. Oh, well done, Conor McCormack, and he was fouled by Mulroy as he went to come away with the ball. And there was a chance there. It was a really good work there by Houston. He got around Murray very easily, and he got the ball through to Mulroy, but really good defender by Conor McCormack just to nick the ball away from him. And as McCormack looks came away, he was fouled by Mulroy. And taken quickly here to Murray to Finn. Finn will go back to Conor McCormack. And back in here to Murray, who can switch the angle of the play now to Enda, who's hugging the touchline here. And the space opens up for Gary Twigg to get into it again. And Gary... and Twigg did well. He got there ahead of Mitchell, got there ahead of Quigley. He took around him, but can only find the side netting. So he's done everything today except score Twiggy. He's done really well. His link-up play has been excellent. He's held the ball up well when he's been isolated up there in his own. But Gary Twigg likes scoring goals. And if he doesn't, he looks upset. But the ball played forward here again for Twiggy. out-muscles Mitchell. Billy plays over the head of Mitchell and finds Gary Twigg here again. Twigg, lovely ball into Gary O'Neill. Gary O'Neill looks to step inside Houston. Houston gets a foot in and does well. But he finds it's Turner now taking over here. Steps inside Gary Turner. Oh, Turner hits the post. So close to 5-1 there. Good work by Chris Turner. He took the ball off Gary O'Neill. He stepped inside and he made a bit of space for himself. His shot with the right foot just came off the post and out for a Bray Wanderers goal kick, which Quigley will take. Gets good distance on it, and Connor's beaten in the air by Patterson. Jay Kelly and Dennehy battling here now, but Kelly can get it back to Webster, who gets it forward to Mulroy, who's looked lively since he's come on, who feeds Danny O'Connor, but Finn nicks in and wins it. Finds Chris Turner, who finds Billy. Billy Dennehy was pushed out of play by Webster there as he went to take the return. Richie Winter didn't see it that way. Plays the ball in here to Danny O'Connor, who plays the ball straight out for a Rovers throw in. So Stevens to Chris Turner, who plays a great ball into Gary O'Neill. Now Gary O'Neill gets the ball out to Conor McCormack, and Cormac with an acre of space. Houston's pulled right in there, and it's a good ball in. Shepherd, well beaten in the air by Prendergast, and it's Dean Massey who can get it clear, but only out for a Rovers throw in, which Conor McCormack can take into the feet of Gary O'Neill. Gary O'Neill looks to turn but loses out, and it's Dean Massey, I think, here can come away. But Chris Turner back, does well Chris Turner, but Massey can find Danny O'Connor and gets it back Massey and steps back inside McCormack, but he's going to have to come back here now to Houston. Houston into the feet of Mulroy, who finds Dan Massey back in here to O'Connor in midfield. Good possession play and a good ball by O'Connor to find Mulroy, who's pulled wide out onto the left. Faced now by Ronan Finn, and he's done well to get inside Finn. Pulls it back to Gary Dempsey. Dempsey to O'Connor. O'Connor can't get over the ball, and he blazes over from the edge of the 18-yard box. So, good play there by Bray to fashion that chance, but unfortunately, as I said, O'Connor just couldn't get his foot over the ball and keep it down. So, it's taken quickly here to Dan Murray, who goes out to Conor McCormack. McCormack with a bit of space finds Carl Shepherd. Shepherd's back to McCormack, who goes back here to Dan Murray, who has Patterson outside him, and then a bit of space here for Patterson maybe to move into, as then the Stevens outside him, who's closed down by Kelly. That space opening up again for Gary Twigg, but the ball doesn't come, and it's Turner to Ronan Finn. Ronan Finn can go outside to Conor McCormack, steps over and finds Ronan Finn. Finn back to McCormack, and McCormack finds Finn again. Finn facing by Dempsey, steps outside Dempsey and get a ball in here to Shepherd, but good defending there by Mitchell to get the ball away, but it's only out for a Rovers throw in, which Conor McCormack will take. McCormack finds Gary O'Neill, whose touch isn't great, but he finds McCormack, but Houston can nick that away from him, and he looks to play the ball down the line from Mulroy, but Patterson is across the cover and can get it back here to Richard Brush. And Richard Bush looks to find Billy Dennehy. Billy Dennehy's touch isn't great, but it finds Chris Turner. And Chris Turner can get away here now. Gary Twiggs full wide. And he's found, but his ball to Gary Twigg is poor. And Mitchell can just step over that and let that go for a goal kick. It was a poor ball by Chris Turner. He'd done everything right. He'd done so well. He'd pulled the defenders in. Gary Twigg had pulled wide out onto the left hand side. And unfortunately, the ball by Turner was poor. And it's going to end up as a goal kick to Bray Wanderers, which Quigley will take. So Quigley's goal kick is won in midfield by Danny O'Connor, but it drops the end of Stevens under pressure from Mulroy. It's forced back inside, but is able to drop his shoulder and turn and find Chris Turner. And Chris Turner can run here now and find Billy Dennehy. He is out on the left-hand side here, faced by Webster, and he's got... But once again, the referee doesn't see that as a foul. It looked as if Webster had basically just pushed into Billy Dennehy as he looks to take that return pass, but the ball once again ends up with Quigley for a goal kick to Bray Wanderers. Once again looking for Kelly, but it's won by Danny O'Connor. His header's poor, only finds Chris Turner, who can switch play across to Conor McCormack. McCormack brings the ball forward, faced by Houston, but Gets the ball out here to Shepherd. Chance for Shepherd to run. Checks back inside Houston. And plays a beautiful ball down the line for Gary Twigg, but Twigg can't get onto that. And once again, it's out for the Bray Wanderers goal kick. So you're going to get the impression that the two teams now are just going to winding down the clock. Another couple of goals would be nice for Rovers to improve the goal difference, but 3 points was really what was important today. It looked as if it was an uphill struggle when Bray Wanderers got the goal, but the sending off, you have to say, kind of changed the game, and the Rovers have really been in control since and have scored some really good goals. But Bray are on the break again here, but Richard Brush comes and collects that at the second chance and gets it out here to Enda Stevens. Can Rovers start to build again here? Stevens looking for movement in front of him, looks to find Gary O'Neill, who's past support. It's cut out by Prendergast, who finds Kelly and ends up back here with Webster. Mulroy with a nice little flick on for Danny O'Connor under pressure from Ronan Finn. Two of them at each other, but O'Connor manages to get away and finds Mulroy. Mulroy back in here to O'Connor, but O'Connor can't control it, and Chris Turner can come away and find Carl Shepard. And Carl Shepard's pace here now. He stepped inside the challenger Prendergast and finds Billy Denny, and Billy Denny, his first touch of great void, comes here to Gary O'Neill. Gary O'Neill holds the ball up well, finds Billy Denny again, who stayed wide, and a chance for a pretty good ball. Gary Twigg! Yes! Gary Twigg finally gets his goal! 5-1 Shamrock Rovers! And Gary Twigg, no more than he deserves for his hard work today. He's done everything except score a goal. He got himself into brilliant chances, but finally Gary Twigg gets himself on the score sheet to get Shamrock Rovers fifth, and that really improves Rovers' goal difference today. And a great header by Gary Twigg at the back post. So that's Shamrock Rovers 5, Bray Wanderers 1. And I think while that ball went into the box, the fourth official held up the board there, but so Bray start the game back here with Prendergast, who gets it out to Dane Massey. Massey into the feet of Mulroy. Mulroy to Gary Dempsey here. Massey continues his run, as does Mulroy, and it opens up from Mulroy, who's got Kelly outside him, and he slips the ball inside, and that's a really, really good goal by Bray Wanderers. So Rovers fell asleep there. So the extra goal on their on the goal difference is quickly cut out by a fine finish by Jay Kelly. It was good work by Mulroy and Massey to slip the ball through. So it's now Shamrock Rovers 5, Bray Wanderers 2. As Conor McCormick goes back here to Dan Murray. Dan Murray into Chris Turner. Turner to Roland Finn. And Finn to Patterson. And Patterson out here to Enda Stevens. Stevens in here to Finn. Finn needs a bit of movement. There's three Bray men in front of him. But he finds Gary O'Neill. Gary O'Neill has Conor McCormick outside him. Conor back in here to Gary O'Neill. O'Neill back to Finn. Finn is Patterson. Oh, but he let the ball kind of go behind him, and he has to get. Patterson's done well and gets a good ball out here to Billy Denny, who's faced by Webster. But the referee blows his whistle, and it's the final score here today: Shamrock Rovers 5, Bray Wanderers 2. The score really doesn't reflect. Well, it reflects a portion of the game, but not the whole game. Bray started really, really well and got a cracking goal through Jay Kelly. They then had a man sent off, Shane O'Connor, for a second bookable offence, 2 yellow cards. And from then on, Rovers got an equaliser with Gary McKay just before half time. And then it was all Rovers in the second half. Just unfortunate that with giving away the second goal, which I'm not saying it might come back to haunt us, but it would have been nice to keep the goals against Collium down. But I think the top priority today with Derry, Sligo and Pat's all winning, that it was crucial that Rovers got 3 points here today and kept themselves in the mix, and that's exactly what they've done. So next game is away to Tottenham, so there'll be no SRFC TV for that. I'm sure you'll get a stream somewhere on the internet. So we'll see us all here back for the next home game against Drogheda next week, is it? Drogheda next Sunday? Yeah, Drogheda next Sunday at 2 o'clock, so I'll see you then, folks. Bye-bye.
We'll see if we're back from London at that stage, more to the point. Thanks again to that, Tunster. So ends here in Tallaght Stadium with really what was a must-win game, and we won it comprehensively 5-2. It was unfortunate to fall asleep there at the end just to let Bray get that another concession, but still +3 to the goal difference is quite healthy. And Ronan Ricketts just going off there, his first goal. He's finally got it for Shamrock Rovers. And that's Hooperman going down to congratulate him a bit more as well. So yeah, nothing from us in Spurs. It's all on TV3, I assume. UEFA don't let us near into the ground basically with a camera. See you, Dunster. Thanks so much. So I'll say we are home then to Drogheda next Sunday. I honestly don't know if my flight gets in time, so there may or may not be commentary. We'll see what happens. Do let us know on the forum what the video was like this evening, because we were trying something a bit different, and let us know if it was better or worse, whatever your thoughts on it. It's 150 or so people who were watching today. As fans file out here on a Sunday afternoon, comprehensive win for Shamrock Rovers, league title, very well, still on target, and best of luck to the Hoops next Thursday. You know, most of the people here are probably going to it, but sure, we'll see you again the following weekend. So, thanks very much, goodbye and God bless.